Our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakah, double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and the shouts to all the sincere elect out there. We are coming back at you with another lesson in this hopeful year of salvation and judgment and destruction upon Babylon and all the other Goyim nations. And it's a hope, and the hope is getting closer. The warrior of Ashim Shah. So we're going to talk about how we're getting closer. And this devil thinks his kingdom going to reign forever. He really and sincerely and truly believes that. But when I was just checking out the Trump, because Trump came, Trump is over in the mother of Babylon. He came over a couple days ago and spewing his rhetoric. And we know it's really about, they be scheming. It's all about the scheming, and they have the dining, the pompous dinner, and he had his speech. A couple of things he said in his speech. I was even observing the way that they do their speeches. And they have notes, and they're constantly tied to their notes. And I knew, and we learn in Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, they give you speech lessons. Yes, in Jehovah's Witnesses they give you speech lessons, you know, Bible lessons and speech lessons, and one of the things you learn is to at least have eye contact. At least have eye contact with your audience. And a lot of the politicians, so-called politicians and MPs and educated people, a lot of them, I noticed, when they do their speeches, they're tied to their notes. And that's a sign of insincerity, because it's not coming out of the heart. You're just reading your speech from a script. You're reading it from a script. It's a sign of insincerity, right? Not speaking from the heart, not looking at the people, not looking at the audience. So eye contact is a very important thing. And I know this, 95% of communication is body language. And so when you see these MPs, and they have their body language, people that study body language, and people that they talk about the body languages of the presidents and the prime ministers and all of that, and it's very insincere, to say the least. A lot of it is lying, to say the least. A lot of them lie, and you can see it because the body language leaks what they really think. So, and I'm a body language person. That's why that's why I really don't like these people. You know what I mean? The Goyim nations and the East, because their body language speaks for themselves. Their body language, it screams John 10:10. That's their MO. Deletion, thieving, and graping. So that's their body language. That's their MO. But anyway, the point I'm making is, yeah, man, the speech he did over here with the dining, the pompous dining in the dinner, and he was talking about their kingdom, and we're gonna be we're allies, and we are allies. We will always be allies. Our kingdom. We want to see and he spoke about the Prince Charles's sons, and that they're respectful, and we want to leave a legacy. We want to leave a legacy. I'm right here in the midst of it for our offspring, for years, for decades, for centuries to come. So that precept comes to mind. Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thoughts is that their kingdom shall remain forever. And a kingdom, when you do a fact checking on a kingdom, how long kingdoms usually reign for, I remember Elder Tahar spoke on this in one of his videos, and I done a fact check. Kingdoms usually reign for 250 years on average. So the kingdom of Babylon around about 17 started to rain around about 17. Boy, it's really coming around today for the insects. But it's all good. It's funny, this weather, man. It just came out of nowhere. Yesterday wasn't as hot as it is today. Yesterday was gloomy, gloom and doom, but today is beaming heat. So we still got some hot days left. So yeah, man, the kingdoms on average reign for about 250 years. So Babylon began its reign around 1776. So 1776 calculations 2025 to 2026 would be around 249 years. So we're at the end. And according to the doomsday clock, we're at the end. Right? Their own doomsday clock. We're at the last hour. Probably even further than that, further in than that. Because 1,000 years to us is one day to the Most High. So the Most High, but even Yahushua doesn't know the day or the hour. So, but we at the last hour. According to the doomsday clock, according to the average lifespan of an empire. So we're at the end. We know we're drawing close to the end. But the Most High hasn't revealed the particular day or hour, not even to Yahushua. And the empire of Neo Babylon reigned for around, was given 70 years, and it reigned for around 67 to around 69 years. So it was short-changed a couple of years. So the Most High can bring it any time, right? That's Romans. I'm going to quote some scriptures, and some of them I'm going to read. Romans 11 and 13. We're at the end. Let me read that one. Don't want to butcher that. So we know we're drawing very close, and we can see the signs, right? Because we've got the Nero visiting Babylon, and it's more creeping taking place, scheming, right? They're confederate against us. Psalms 83. They're confederate. They're scheming. How are we going to take them down? Right? They made mention of the MOTB. They're saying Babylon. Nero, in his address speech in the dinner, was saying England are very they got a lot to be proud about, but they seem very humble, but they got a lot to be proud about. They need to pull up their socks. In other words, that's what he was saying. You have to read the code. They need to pull their weight a bit and stop being so humble. Right? And they made mention of the technology is vastly growing. The AI, you can make more use of the AI, and they mentioned, they made mention of some particular. We know about the wearables, but they made mention of it, and I'm going to speak in code, as more and more brothers have been talking about. Just make sure you speak in code. Revelations chapter 13, they made mention of that, right? So they're saying pick up the pace a little bit. Nero, Trump in his speech was saying pick up the pace. Don't be so humble. In other words, make Revelation 13 and 16, make it, start pushing it. Stop being so lackadaisical and so polite. Because the English people have got a reputation as being polite and very courteous, but we know that's just a facade, a cover-up. Because their words are sweeter than butter, but war is in their heart. That's a facade. right? It's a cover-up, all that politeness, and we see through all of that, right? We see through all of that. They're men and they're women. We see through all of that, right? We have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. So it's a facade. Don't be so polite, right? Because behind all that politeness, there's been many wars, many a lynching, many a alligator bait, many a Jim Crow, many a graping, right? Many a cried graping, and many a cried graping. They're women, and the men graping, and the women crying grape, which is really grape anyway. Many a seizing and taking, robbery, behind that facade of politeness and humility and humbleness and courtesy, right? So many crimes have taken place behind that facade of politeness and kindness. Let me get that precept I made mention of. I think it's Romans. It's going to be a quick one. I'm just addressing the how they creep in and their kingdom. They believe that their kingdom, their inward thoughts is that their kingdom will reign forever. That's what they well and truly believe. Let's bring this one out. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm gonna read it. 13. It's Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing that the time that now it's at high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed, right? It's nearer than when we opened our eyes to this truth. It's closer, right? Self-explanatory, right? Hence the visitation of Nero coming over to trying to push what's the word, man? Trying to put a battery in the mother of Babylon's back, right? Telling them to get your finger out. That's what Nero was trying to do. You can tell. So, and the addressing speech was talking about, oh, we're going to be able to have this decades to come, and that's what they believe. Their inward thoughts is that their kingdom will reign forever. Let's read it. Psalms 97, Psalms 90, Psalms 49 and 11 says, their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their land after their own names. Right, that's the inward thoughts. Right. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. Right, you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. Like a breath, like a beast. Right. So you believe your inward thoughts going to last them forever, but you're going to perish away. Right? Nero, that's what you well and truly believe. And we're in the last hour, right, according to the doomsday clock, and we're at the feet, according to Daniel's chapters 2. So we're at the feet, right? We're at the molten clay, the iron and the molten clay that don't mix. That's where we are. And then who's going to come along and smash it? Yahushua, the great millstone. You're going to come along and smash it, and all your dreams, right? Your so-called NWO, right? You're going to come in the midst of that, just about when you're about to fill your belly, and even if a little bit goes down, you're going to vomit it up again. So that's the great millstone going to come in the midst of your unity, or you getting your NWO in place, your agenda. The great millstone. Let me hit that one to end off the video. Daniel's chapters 2. So where are we right now? Let's read that one. 42 says, and as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Right? They're not in unity. Talking about their allies, America and England are allies. That's like I say, it's a front, right? Because they can go at each other's throat at any time. That's their MO, right? This demon can't be trusted, right? They're about the John 10 and 10. Their MO, he can't be trusted. And the scriptures, is it Sirach 12 and 10? Never trust thine enemy, and they're like that among themselves, right? All this with this I'm gonna speak in code with the recent K, that K. I'm gonna call it Kellogg's cornflakes. You know, Captain Kirk Kellogg's cornflakes. That's what I'm gonna name it. The Kellogg's cornflakes thing, right? Which we're gonna see how that plays out. But we're hearing more and more things about that. Captain Kirk, the Kellogg's cornflakes, right? See all kinds of things, you know. So he can't be trusted. He doesn't even trust themselves. They don't even trust their own people. They don't even trust themselves. Right? This man, you can't trust him. Never trust thine enemy. So it's all the plan for the agenda to be put in place. That's why they will delete each other. Right? And from what we're hearing, he was going to bring certain things out, which he was bringing some things out already. But Kellogg's cornflake was going to bring certain things out. So they had to do away. So, right, they can't be trusted, right? That's another thing as well. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong, partly broken, right? Not united. Whereas those sieves iron mixed with murky clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, right? But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay, right? Once again, they don't even trust themselves. They can't trust each other. There's no real allies really. It's all a business ploy. It's about business. It's all about business. They don't get on with each other, and they be talking about each other behind the scenes. We saw what happened with the you got the prince that went and married you know, they call her the duck, right? Which they say she's coloured, but they're not happy about that. Prince Harry, and he could be a Jake too. So anyway, you know, there's a lot of underlying resentment, and they're not cleaving to one another. It's all a front, right? To look, right? But they keep things in house for the most part, but it's all a front, and they're fragmenting. Iron and clay can't stay together, so they're fragmented, right? Until this is what's going to happen. The divine kingdom in that days, right? In the days of those kings shall the God of the heavens set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Right? That's that great millstone. You're going to come and smash all those other kingdoms. There you have it, man. So the ultimate destruction is at hand. As a matter of fact, they want to seal the deal. Let's seal the deal. Right? What is that kingdom? What happens? Let's seal the deal. Right? Because there are two precepts that go together. Revelation 18 to seal the deal. And 21 says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it unto the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all forever. So you believe your kingdoms in your inward thoughts is that your kingdom shall remain forever, but it's going to be smashed, right? And it's the great millstone, which is Yahushua. And Yahushua is otherwise described as the word. So the truth is going to smash your kingdom. There's no foundation because it's built on lies. So the truth is going to bring an end to your kingdom, and it's being brought out right now. So you're fragmented and you're worried. So we see, for those of us that have eyes to see and ears to hear, we see their kingdom is soon be gone forever. The water Bashim Yoshai, Kala Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, and our kingdom ruled by Yahushua. He saves, he delivers, gonna stand forever. The water Bashim Yoshai, Kala Bashim Yoshai, until the next one we at.